Joining us now is Bill McKibben. Bill is an environmentalist and the founder of an organization called Third Act, which is comprised of people over the age of 60 who are determined to change the world for the better. He's also the author of a memoir called The Flag, the Cross, and the Station Wagon. Bill, good to see you again. Thank you for being with us tonight.
A real pleasure to be with you, friend.
Bill, tell me, can you help us understand what exactly this ruling does to the EPA? It limits their ability to limit or restrict the negative, environmentally negative output of power plants.
That's right. The EPA is filled with experts whose job it is to figure out how to regulate the pollution that comes out of power plants and things. But the Supreme Court today said, we don't care about that. If there's going to be any serious regulation, Congress has to specifically tell us how much methane or what kind of carbon or, on and on down the list. And of course, as anybody who's followed Congress, as you have every night for years now, knows, that's exactly the same thing as saying we'll not have any regulation at all. In facing the greatest crisis the world has ever faced, this goes a long ways towards removing the chance that the U.S. will step up to its obligations.
I suppose very much like abortion, there are a number of us who have come to sort of think that the world has moved ahead, that we have changed our views as it relates to environmentalism, that we have discounted the deniers and that they're not they don't have an equal place at the table. And then suddenly a ruling like this comes down, which shows that not only do the deniers have an equal place at the table, they've got a prominent place at the table. They've got a leadership role in the discussion. How does this come to pass in 2022 when it seems that most people in the world, at least outside of America, but even in America, most people seem to think that environmental damage is done when there's an absence of regulation?
Well, Ali, I think you've really hit the nail squarely on the head. Each of the big decisions in the last week, the one that made it easy to carry guns any place you wanted, the one that overturned a woman's right to choose, and now this one that's gutting the Clean Air Act, they're all deeply unpopular. These are all things that by margins of 65, 70, 75, 80, 90% Americans want done. And so what we're seeing is the payoff of a 50-year effort that predates even Ann Gorsuch. I mean, we go back straight to that famous memo that Lewis Powell, soon to become a justice of the Supreme Court, wrote in 1971, within months of the Clean Air Act being adopted, saying, business has to get its act together so that we can stand up to this kind of regulation. This is today the thing that the Koch brothers were working for. That's what the last few decades of right-wing organizing and court packing and everything else was about. And it's going to put us in a real hole. But, and this is important, these things are so unpopular that they should be the springboard for a kind of reaction. We need now leadership out of the Democratic Party and out of Joe Biden to really take this to the American public. I said the other day that Joe Biden should say, my frame is not going to darken the White House door for the next 132 days until this election. I'm going to be out every day. Get me a train. I like Amtrak. I'm going to crisscross the country taking this case because now he has a case to make. Now we don't have to have an election that's just dominated by inflation. Now people understand that the most basic rights and the most basic questions about the future, not just of our country, but our planet, are at stake. So this is a terrible week. But if the Supreme Court kicked over a hornet's nest, then maybe something good can be salvaged from it.
You talked about the Clean Air Act and you mentioned business. So you've walked into my wheelhouse now. And something you wrote in the New Yorker struck me today. You mentioned that while the conservative push to roll back environmental regulations have been profit-driven since the 1980s, including the work done by the Koch brothers, you mentioned that it's more ideological than practical now because climate change is going to lead to such a financially unstable world. Tell me what you mean by that.
Well, look, the current high-end estimate for economic damage from unchecked global warming, the last number I saw was $551 trillion by century's end, which is more money than currently exists on planet Earth. I mean, we're talking about an issue by far the largest thing that human beings have ever done. while the Supreme Court is playing these kind of ideological games on behalf of the vested interests that want to delay our energy transition for a couple of decades, while they're doing that, the Arctic is melting, the seas are rising. We're seeing fire and flood and drought on scales we've never observed before. This couldn't be more serious, and they couldn't be at some level less serious. All they're doing is carrying water for the fossil fuel industry. They've gotten their money's worth for ever since Citizens United, what they've poured into this system. Return on investment's been staggering.
Bill, good to see you. Thanks for the work that you do. And like the work they've been doing for decades, you've been doing this work for decades. Bill McKibben is an environmentalist. He's the founder of the organization Third Act, the author of a memoir called The Flag, the Cross, and the Station Wagon. We appreciate your time, sir.